a.m. Detroit D-Gens. It is Saturday morning. Grab your cup of coffee. Go grab your donut, whatever else that you fancy here for the morning. But, hey, we got Beastie here with us again. We're going to be looking at some NBA. We got a little bit of skills activities going on today with our boy Cade Cunningham. We got 7 games in NHL. We got some college basketball as well to talk about. But, Beastie, what's going on here, my friend? It's Saturday morning, and looks like we got a little bit of stuff to look forward to today on a wintry, snowy day here in Michigan.
Yeah, well, I mean, NHL and hockey center stage, at least for this weekend. Yesterday, we talked about a couple stacks that I liked, and boom, here we are now. And let's go from there. I mean, NHL, it's going to be fantastic today. And there I am, with the watch, and I don't have a pinky ring. Maybe Woodward can make me a custom pinky ring. I mean, their stables and everything they're doing. The studio is in Birmingham. They could spring for a little diamond gold pinky ring for me, right? Not this guy. Leave him alone. And let's talk about hockey. I believe there's 7+ games, and I have an idea here when we get to the NHL DFS thing here, and let's see if it picks up traction as the day progresses. There it is, 2, 4, 6, 8 games here, and I have an idea. If you look at it, I won't blow the lead here, but Colorado's playing, Edmonton's playing. People love stacking the Avalanche and the Oilers, but I have something different up my sleeve. So stick around, grab your coffee, as Scott said, and we'll get into it here soon. I have some great moves and plans for tonight's hockey action.
Sounds like fun. Well, let's get into what we were going to talk about here today. The first thing that we had, BC, to talk about yesterday, we talked a little bit about that 3-point shooting contest, which will be here tonight. They also have a slam dunk contest, which was a little bit light on some of the websites for gambling options. But the 3-point contest, there was all kinds of options. As we kind of mentioned yesterday, we're liking Trae Young and Fred Van Vliet here today, so we'll be looking at that. But today also, our own Cade Cunningham is going to be in the spotlight here tonight, which we all know I got money on Cade, recommended on everybody betting on him to win Rookie of the Year. So, hey, I mean, we got him in a spotlight here. Hopefully he does really well. But what they're doing, Beastie, they got a skills challenge here tonight. So basically the way it breaks down is they have a shooting first round. It's like a team shooting. You get 2 rebounders. You get to fire up as many shots as you can in I believe it's like 30 seconds or a minute or something along those lines. And then round 2 is like a team passing event, and then round 3 is like a team relay through an obstacle course, and then the final round is a half-court shooting contest. So they got 4 different contests. Cade Cunningham and the boys here. So it is a rookie team with Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, and Josh Giddey. They're minus 145 to win this competition on FanDuel. They're minus 125 on DraftKings. And then you have the home team Cavs. They got Allen, Garland, and Mobley. They're at plus 190 on FanDuel, plus 200 on DK. And then they got team Antetokounmpo, whatever, team Giannis and his brothers. But so we got team A, we're going to call them team Cavs. And then we have the rookies. So, hey, if you want to get in there and bet a little bit on a Piston here, Cade Cunningham, Rookie of the Year, as I said, you can get in there for a minus 145 with Josh Giddey and Scotty Barnes. So, kind of looking a little bit forward to the skill competition. Now, Beastie, when I grew up, man, this was the whole part. Nobody even really watched the All-Star game. That was boring. Everybody liked to watch the 3-point shooting contest, and then the slam dunk contest, isn't what it used to be. Like when I grew up, I mean, we had guys like, Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan,
Sean Kemp. It's crazy.
Sean Kemp, yeah, we had all these guys. And now you're getting these rookies, that, or some of these guys that really nobody's really aware of. I mean, some of the dunks are fabulous, but it's just more fun to see your favorite NBA players get in there and mix it up. But, yeah, what's your remember? Well, I mean, let's see, you're a little younger, so you were a little bit after the Michael Jordan fit time. But, yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun back then when it all started, basically. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan, the slam dunk contest wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, I didn't start paying attention to slam dunk contest or actually anything basketball until like the early 90s, right? I was born in 1984, same year as Jordan was drafted, if I'm not mistaken. But we're talking when I could really get into it and enjoy it, we're talking like 1992, 1993. So yeah, Sean Kemp was in full effect. Dominique Wilkins was still there. And I'll just throw this out there. I know it's a betting show. We're not giving opinions that are going to be discussed elsewhere. But I'm telling you that the slam dunk contest is kind of boring now because it's, as you said, it's not as meaningful as it used to be. It's fun. You know, you get every superstar and get them there to dunk the basketball, and boom, Michael Jordan was dunking the basketball. In today's day and age, I think, and I don't dislike LeBron James, but I call it like I see it. Do you think LeBron James? I do. I think LeBron James is the reason the slam dunk contest is no longer even, watchable. It's slam dunk contest is boring because, LeBron James could have had it by the, he could have had everything there with the slam dunk contest, but he never wanted to participate. And it's because of him in today's day and age, he's the king. The kids still look up to him. Dudes my age still love him and idolize him. And if he would have carried that torch from the 90s guys into now, I think it would have been glorious. But LeBron has never participated in the dunk contest. Is there a direct correlation here with LeBron James just not wanting to slam dunk in the contest to it being just whatever, it doesn't matter now? I think there is a connection to be made there. And again, this is a betting show, but just an opinion of mine. LeBron James single-handedly sunk the slam dunk contest.
Hey, anytime we can pile on LeBron James, it's been known. I like about LeBron James as much as I like the Buckeyes football team. I don't really care for any of them. And you're right. I mean, that's what lifted the NBA up at that time was this slam dunk contest. It was one of the most watched events at the time. And Michael Jordan, you're right. The guy who was carrying the league at the time was participating in those events. But yeah, you're right. It just waters it down when it's not the better players. It's just not as much fun. But speaking of some good players today, we got some pretty good action today on the hardwood. But before we get there, Beastie, just want to give a shout out to our sponsor of the show, and that is Better Rate Mortgage. Better Rate Mortgage, family is more than blood. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family, actually better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit mybetterrate.com or call 248-480-4467 today. But Beastie, as I mentioned, we got some college basketball here today. We got 3 games. The first one here in the Big Ten involves the Sparties. We got number 12 Illinois at Michigan State here today. But it's always fun when you kind of get to wake up middle of the day and then obviously have some hoops action. But just kind of looking here at these teams here, the Spartans 13-12 against the spread. Illinois 10-13-1. But this one here looks like a pretty close game. Number 12 coming in to number 19. I think this is a game here, Beastie. The Sparties need to pull out here to keep this momentum going into March here. I know they struggled a little bit here recently, but how you feeling about the Sparties today against the Fighting Illini?
I'll give you one guess. So easy you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. But when we look at Illinois, the one college game I watched from start to finish this season was an Illinois game, and this Kofi Cockburn kid is unbelievable. I mean, he was up and down the court everywhere, blocking shots, dunking the basketball, assists, 3-point. I mean, Kofi Cockburn. Let me click on him real quick and see. I mean, this dude, he's a monster. So Kofi Cockburn is going to be an absolute thorn in the Spartan side in this one. And again, we can all watch different shows, whether what network you're watching, but anytime you get a list together of the upcoming class of kids that are going to enter the draft here, Kofi Cockburn is, as it stands now, from what I've seen, this kid is a top 3, top 5 talent heading in to the NBA draft next season. So Illinois already an outstanding basketball team. I almost said football team, but here we are, and I'm not trying to bash Michigan State here, but I'm telling you right now, Illinois is playing some outstanding, inspired basketball right now. So I'm going to go all in on the Fighting Illini. They're from Champaign, but they're playing in East Lansing today. So give me Kofi Cockburn to just absolutely demoralize and stomp on State in their own building.
Yeah, I mean, the Sparties have been struggling, Beastie, as you mentioned. I mean, at Penn State, they end up losing by 4. They lost at home to Indiana, where I'm sorry, they did cover. I'm sorry, against Indiana. They won 76-61 here, but ended up losing at home to Wisconsin 70-62. Got blown up by 21 at Rutgers, and then ended up only winning by 2 over Maryland. So Michigan State has not covered their last 4 out of 5 games. Just kind of looking at all these over-unders here. Illinois, the last 3 out of 4 has gone under. All their games have been right around 136, 140 range, 146 high against Purdue. And then the Sparty's right around the same, 138, 134-ish. And last 2 out of 3 have gone under. So 142, we might, I might be leaning a little bit under here, excuse me, in this game. But I think you're right, Beastie. Illinois has been playing really good. I do like Illinois here in this spot, but I don't know if I got the cojones to bet on it. I've just been trying to stay away from situations to where I'm taking a team, especially with a close spread, on the road. I've been kind of shying away from those. Been kind of just trying to ride with some home teams. So I think if that the case, if I was going to bet anything here, I think I'd be looking at the under. But I do like that kid you mentioned from Illinois. Definitely a top talent. But we do have 2 other games in the Big Ten today. We can go through real quick. Number 18, Ohio State, which put a thumping on Michigan here recently. -4 at home against Iowa. 153 is the over/under. That one is at 230 here. But Beastie, we also have another game, not as much fun. Northwestern -2 at Minnesota, over/under 138. But not too bad basketball games here in the Big Ten today, followed up after this Michigan State game with these Buckies at facing Iowa. But Ohio State -4. I just generally don't like to obviously bet on the Buckeyes. Not my favorite thing to do, but I do like them here in this spot at home, and I think I would roll with the Buckeyes here. But what do you think about these other 2 games?
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, as it stands right now, Ohio State, 18th overall, they have yet to lose on their home floor, in their home hardwood here. So, you know, they look to me as of late to be more of a second half team, and I'm talking about the Buckies here. And when you run into a team like Iowa, who look at what has happened the last few games. Iowa's 3-1 their last 4. They did lose to Michigan 79-84 here, but Ohio State, same thing, 3-1. They're only Ohio State's only loss these last 4 games was at Rutgers. They lost to Rutgers by 2 points, so they were close there. And I know I keep glancing down because I have, you know, little tidbits and excerpts and notes that I write down here. So personally, I'm going to leave that one alone. Obviously, Ohio State is yet to lose at home. Wink, wink. I just don't want to say it out loud here. And then we look at Northwestern and Minnesota, 2 teams that are they're just cut right down the middle. They're both 12-12. When you look at their record, their last 5 games, I believe Northwestern is 3-2 their last 5 games, and then Minnesota is 1-4 their last 4 games here. And it looks like, you know, Minnesota not doing all that well. They haven't scored anything over, I believe, 75 points their last 5 games. Northwestern, same thing. The Northwestern highest total their last 5 games is 87 in a win against or in Nebraska here. So this one could go either way. We'd have to dig in just a little bit deeper here. And I know I don't know how many NCAA men's basketball fans we have out here, but I'm telling you now, you don't have to bet on any of these games today. Maybe hold that nest egg in, because we're right around the corner from March Madness. But if I had to choose, I would probably go with Northwestern in this one. They're averaging, I believe, just off the top of my head, 9 to 10 more points a game than Minnesota is. So we shall see. So give me the Fighting Illini. I'm not going to say it, Buckies, and then we'll look to Northwestern to take this one. Again, I'm not comfortable enough to bet on any of those aside from the Fighting Irish here. Really quick, Kofi Cogburn, this kid's averaging a double-double. He's averaging like 25 points a game, 12 rebounds a game. Boom, there he is. You know what? Easy's only doing that, right, because he's scared. He knows that Kofi Cogburn and the Fighting Illini are going to cause some major damage this afternoon. So, hey, joke's on you, Easy. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, Beastie, you and I are the only 2 Michigan guys. Obviously, Beer has made it clear he's a Wisconsin fan. And then our 2 boys behind the glass, Easy and Spencer, I mean, they're both Sparties. So I mean, we got to give them as much crap as we can, but yeah, that's what makes it a lot of fun. I mean, it's always fun. At least, I mean, I'd rather be Sparties than Buckies. I mean, we couldn't accept that now, Beastie. We would have to we'd have to have us a tag team match in the ring, the heavyweights against us two skinny fools. But yeah, I couldn't handle the Buckeye guys there. But either way, a lot of stuff here going on. Like we mentioned, tomorrow we got the Daytona 500. I mean, I'm going to throw a couple bets in on some Daytona 500. I mean, back in the day, Beastie, we used to have a reason just to sit around and day drink on a Sunday and watch the Daytona 500, and usually would make a big deal about it. But that's back in the Dale Earnhardt days. So that was obviously a few years ago. But we always used to have a lot of fun. I think I was just young and wanted a reason to day drink, Beastie. I think is really what it boiled down to. But always look forward to that. And as I mentioned before this golf opened up, was looking at betting on a couple of guys here, John Rahm, maybe some Tony Finau. So far, that hasn't really been panning out so far for us, but obviously a lot of time left in the golf. But sometimes I like to get in there in the morning and just see like how far maybe a guy is behind, maybe a guy's playing really well the day before. And sometimes you can get some pretty decent odds, Beastie, to jump up, from third or fourth place and end up winning a tournament on like a Sunday. Like, so, tomorrow morning, get in there or today, today probably is just a little late, obviously, because they probably teed off already 8:00. I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm going to guess.
Yeah,
so
earlier.
More likely though, Beastie, for tomorrow before the final round, hey, let's take a look at, we'll even talk, well, it'll be a little late tomorrow, but the thing is, find that guy third or fourth place. Sometimes you can get him 10 or 12 to 1. And I know it's just a lot of fun sometimes just to sit around and see how it goes. We got nothing else to do, Beastie. We either can play some poker, we can go bowling, or we can sit around and shovel some snow. I mean, we can't shag cars anymore, Beastie. We're not allowed to do that. We used to shag the bus or whatever. Half these cars don't even have a good enough bumper to hang on to nowadays. It's like these flimsy little piece of plastic. But
I know.
Yeah, you kids out there, we're not telling you shag cars anymore. You can't do that anymore.
No.
So don't be doing that. Stay safe. But we were young and dumb. Yeah. That's probably why we turned out the way we did. We fell off a couple buses flying down the street at one point.
Yeah, we're not saying to shag a car. Don't hold on to a bumper. But if you were thinking about it, the best move is a ratchet strap, and then you tie it to the back of the couch at late at night after it's dark out on like a very icy corner or a road. But we're not talking. You shouldn't do that. But if you really are to be safe, use a ratchet strap with a nice metal hook. And I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm just saying ratchet strap.
Yeah, with the sun being out too, Beastie, man, this snow here is going to be make for some good packing material. So I'm sure we're going to see some snowmen. And, for me, Beastie, it's a lot of fun throwing snowballs at my kids or whoever else, neighbor kid running by on his bike, sitting in the driveway. I try to get this old 50-year-old arm out there and see about, see how far I can zing a snowball still. They don't go as far as they used to, but I still like to get out there and zing it around a little bit. Before we get to best bets of the day here, Beastie, we got some NHL action we got to have you break down. So let's go through it. As we said, hey, this is prime time stage here for the NFL or NHL players with this NBA All-Star break here in DFS. So let's have at it for the NHL on the ice today. The Beastie golden picks.
Absolutely. So when you look at this one, I'll count it right in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 hockey games on this evening. First puck drop is 1 p.m. I believe they're playing in there it is. Colorado is playing against Buffalo. That one's at puck drop, as I said, is at 1 p.m. And then the last one of the evening is at 10 p.m. The Anaheim Ducks are playing the Canucks here. So everything in between here, it's one of those days where, just an early look at it, right? It's Saturday morning. First puck drop is like 3-4 hours away, 1 p.m. Eastern, as I said. And when you look down the list, just from like a 5,000-foot view, Colorado is playing. Everybody loves stacking them. Nathan McKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, Niskanen. They're very, stacking Colorado's first line, that's really all you can do. You got to punt the rest of your players. I'm not in the business of doing that. And when we go down, the Oilers are playing the Winnipeg Jets at 4 p.m. here. That's another one. Everybody's always looking to stack Edmonton, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, everything that consumes, which is very expensive. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, both over 10 grand on FanDuel, and we have the Jets. As we go down, the Boston Bruins are playing against the Ottawa Senators here. Everybody's going to be looking at Boston. Patrice Bergeron is back. I believe Brad Marchand is on the tail end of his suspension here. So is he back? We don't know. David Pastrnak, we know he's been bumped up to the first line in the absence of Brad Marchand here. So as it stands now, you're looking at everybody's all going to be, I'm telling you now, I've been playing all season, been playing for a while now. You can kind of read, NHL, DFS, or just DFS players in general like a book. You're going to get very high ownership percentages of Colorado, of Edmonton, and even Boston playing the Senators. And hey, the Senators have been okay as of late, right? We wrote them off on Thursday, and they wound up winning. They wound up scoring 3 or 4 goals here. So today, Saturday only here, I love the idea of fading all the chalk, not even a single skater from Colorado, Edmonton, and even Boston, and going all in on the opposite team. So we're looking at the Buffalo Sabres. We're looking at the Winnipeg Jets, who have been awesome as of late. And even one of the last games of the evening, Calgary is playing Seattle in Calgary here. It's the Kraken, great logo. They're not playing all that well right now. And as it stands, Calgary with Backlund and Lindholm, these guys are playing outstanding. So let's reel it in. I'll bring it back in, and let's talk about Buffalo briefly here. This rookie kid, Tage Thompson, he's their first line center, first power play unit. This kid's been on a roll, and behold, he's so cheap. He's like $6,700, somewhere around that price tag. In comparison to Nathan MacKinnon on the same game, this dude's like $9,700, $10,000. And if it wasn't for the few games that MacKinnon missed with a concussion, the guy would be, priced about Connor McDavid's price or Leon Draisaitl. So I'm telling you guys now, look for Buffalo 1, which is also Skinner as well. Jeff Skinner, this guy scored 5 or 6 goals in one game, earlier this week. He put up like 74 total FanDuel points. So I'm looking to fade Colorado, and I'm going to stack Buffalo's first line. Jeff Skinner, as I've said, Tage Thompson, and you get a little bit of a Cody Eakin as well. When we go down, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm just looking down at my notes because they're kind of shorthand, because I want to get everything I have to say out to you people. And as I said, Edmonton is playing the Winnipeg Jets here. Fade Connor McDavid, fade Leon Draisaitl. Let's look at Winnipeg. Winnipeg is their first line is not all that cheap, but it pays off. But again, we're going to fade Edmonton, and if you want, you can even fade Winnipeg 1 in favor of Winnipeg 2, which is Blake Wheeler, Kyle Connor. This kid is outstanding, one of the more expensive skaters on a slate basis here. But to me, so far, Buffalo 1, Winnipeg 2, and the last one I want to talk about is the Calgary Flames. There's a thing going around that's not going around because I'm the only one that's really doing it here. I came to this conclusion: when you play the Calgary Flames on any given slate, you can play all 3 of their centers, and we're talking what are their names here? I know it's Backlund, Lindholm, and even Sean Monahan. That's it. Backlund, Monahan, and Lindholm. All 3 centers. Lindholm plays on the first line, Backlund plays on the second line, and Sean Monahan plays on the third line. So this is a weird move I made earlier this week, and every time Calgary plays, I'm going to stack it. All 3 of the Calgary Flames centers. So you're going to get follow me here. You're going to get a taste of all 3 lines of Calgary, and you're going to get a taste of both power play units playing the Seattle Kraken. It's too good to be true. So I'm telling you right now, what I'm doing: Buffalo 1, Winnipeg 2, and all 3 Calgary Flames centers: Monahan, Backlund, and Lindholm. We'll see what we get tomorrow on Sunday, or we'll meet back here again Monday, and we'll see how it went.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, as I mentioned, Beastie, the NHL is on the big stage in the DFS community. Other than a little bit of golf that you could have played earlier in the week, DFS wise, I mean, that's it. We got NHL. This is the NBA All-Star break. This is the time you get all these guys in NBA who usually mix it up. They just can't help themselves, Beastie. They got to get in that NHL circle. But I got a question for you. I know you're playing a lot of hockey, and we talk about, like building teams, and you always mention these lines. Now, I just want everybody to kind of be clear. Like when he mentions line 1, line 2, he's talking about playing, the whole line. Play the three
Correct. Yeah.
guys. Usually on FanDuel it says what line they're on, so you can kind of put it together. But that's what Beastie's talking about. It's kind of like baseball, where we like to stack up teams. You got to stack up lines. If you start mixing it up, you're just kind of limiting your upside. So if Beastie says, stack up a line 1 or 2, that's what
The
he's
whole
telling you.
thing.
Put these 2 lines, the 6 players together, and then throw in some defensemen that maybe are cheap or get some minutes. Block shots are big in DFS
Yes.
as well. So if you got a guy that is getting down and dirty and getting block shots, sometimes those can add up more than a guy getting a couple assists or a goal. But usually not a goal. Goals, a lot of points. But either way,
Yeah.
that's what Beastie's talking about. Like when mix up some lines, like yesterday I mixed up a couple teams, had a hard time trying to put exact pieces together, and I just kind of went a different way and went cheap with a guy and used an optimizer and figured out who to use. But I did go off that theory and probably could have done better if obviously you needed the Columbus guys. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get that out there. But Beastie, I want to
Scott,
mention
really
real
quick,
quick.
one more thing. I'm sorry. I want to say, you mentioned, using FanDuel or DraftKings. They'll say what line they are. I'm not trying to knock FanDuel or DraftKings, but sometimes those aren't as appropriate as they are. You got to go to an outward site here that just type in NHL line combos. Boom, it pops up, and that stuff is up to date. Morning skate arounds, what the beat reporter for each team is saying. Your FanDuel, outstanding. DraftKings, outstanding, but they can only do so much. So go and write down and go to a website that has up to the minute line combinations. That's the way, because you don't want to stack, Buffalo 1 thinking it's Tage Thompson, Jeff Skinner, and Cody Eakin, and come to find out in the morning skate they bumped Cody Eakin in favor of somebody else, because then that wouldn't truly be Buffalo's first line. So I'm doing a lot of the work for folks, but just go that extra mile and look up the line combinations morning of or right before lock, as you're building your lineups.
Yeah, I mean, that's some good advice. Obviously, the more you listen to us, you guys will figure out some of the ways we have of going about things.
Tips and tricks. Yeah.
Yeah, just our process. That's obviously a good thing to pay attention to, is the different line combination. Obviously, the power plays are big too. But BC, I want to mention our other sponsor of the show. That'd be the Jars Cannabis Company at jarscannabis.com. But man, they got this huge event going on called the Jars Rail Jam. You guys got to go check that out at jarscannabis.com. Go over there and hit the events tab and check out this thing that they got. I mean, it's 3 obstacles for skiers, snowboarders, whatever else. They're giving away prizes for to see what kind of tricks you can do. $1,000 for first, $500 for second, $250 for third, but all kinds of crazy deals going on during this as well. And that is February 26th. So next Saturday, they got this event going on. So go over there, check it out, free to enter. All like I said, all of different varieties you need. I've been in there a few times. Very nice place. Everything there you would possibly imagine or want. And was very, very impressed with the prices. They've all been dropping. If everybody's got that, stigma that all these dispensaries are so high in price, you probably haven't been in a while. So get on over there and check it out and see what they got for you. But looking forward to this Rail Jam event. But Beastie, we're getting close here to that time of the show for a Saturday. But before we get to our favorite bets and picks of the day, you got any words of wisdom for the people other than make sure you're checking these line combinations and all that other fun stuff? But I mean, I like what you said a lot here. Like before the Super Bowl, everybody's putting out content, everybody's playing fantasy football, everybody's into it. And now here, if you're an NBA player, or NBA DFS bettor, or anything along those lines, hey, take the little break. You got a weekend here to sit back, enjoy your family or whatever else. Go text an old friend, whatever else. So we always, encourage that kind of stuff. But yeah, Beastie, a little bit slow here with sports. Like you said, we got a little bit of the Olympics left. We do have that Final Four of the NHL or the Olympics. No NHL players, unfortunately. I wish there was. But yeah, no Canada, no U.S. So probably not going to get the media coverage if one of those 2 teams are in there. But any words of wisdom, Beastie, before we get to the favorite part of the show?
Yeah, it might seem, let me speak to people real quick, face to face, eye to eye. It might seem that everybody and their friend, and their grandma, right, is broadcasting, right? There's so many podcasts and broadcasts. Everybody is producing written content. But to be fair, a lot of that is seasonal fantasy football stuff, right? Not a lot of folks concentrate on hockey DFS. NBA DFS is more popular. So I'm saying you might think everybody and their grandma is broadcasting and writing. That's not true. So to be fair, if you're not putting out content, even if you are, it's okay to take a rest, to take a break. It's Saturday morning. You're watching our show. I can't thank you enough for being here. Woodward thanks you. Beer, Scott, we all thank you for being here. Like the video, leave a comment, let us know what your biggest goal is, in terms of sports betting, to win $1 million, to get better at a DFS process. So regardless, if you're writing, broadcasting, if your mom, your husband, your wife, if any of those folks are broadcasting too, tell them it's cool. Hey, listen, I want to take Saturday off. I want to be in peace today. I don't need to place a bet today. And guess what? I'm going to do it tomorrow too on Sunday. Nobody's going to put you down if you don't want to get in 100 DFS lines and research all day. It's kind of an acquired taste. It should be fun. That's what the message of this is here, right? It should be enjoyable. I love to wake up and write notes and look at every line combination. How many times are they on the ice? Do they block shots? And I know not everybody is cut from the same cloth. And guess what? That's okay, because at the end of the day, we're all here together talking, broadcasting, sharing ideas. So it's okay to take a day off. If you're stressed out, if you're overwhelmed, if you're burned out, then you need to put the phone away. You need to disconnect from the computer. And look, I'm here to tell you, it's okay. The world is not going to pass you by. I know a lot of folks that write and broadcast, oh my God, I can't miss one show or one article. I'm going to be thrown under the rug. I'm going to be fired if you're lucky enough to get paid to do this. No, that's not going to happen, because if you're not right within, nobody's right around you. It's okay to rest and relax.
Absolutely, BC. That is a part of the thing. Have fun, and we always like to say have fun with what you're doing in the sports betting. I think what I'm going to do today, BC, I'm going to go find me a big hill and get out a sled and go down sledding a little bit today. We got all this snow here. Haven't gone out and done that yet. I always like to get out there and mix it up. But Beastie, that time of the show here, we got to give a couple best bets for everybody. We've been hot lately, so what do you got here for the people today?
So I have one over under, and then I have two anytime goals. We're going to parlay all three together. The first one, anytime goal in the length of the Denver, Colorado Avalanche playing the Buffalo Sabres here. Tage Thompson, their first line center. This kid sees 25 plus minutes a game. Give me an anytime goal for Tage. Rookies, outstanding. Tage Thompson, anytime goal. Anytime goal for the Calgary Flames first line center, Elias Lindholm. This kid is on a roll. I had him in an anytime goal on Thursday. It hit. It was beautiful. So Tage Thompson, anytime goal. Elias Lindholm from the Calgary Flames, anytime goal. And then the Boston Bruins playing the Ottawa Senators. The over-under's only at 5.5 here. I'm going to go over. I think we're looking at 7, maybe 8 total goals in this one. So again, Ottawa could win this one 5-3. So give me the over in that game. Tage, anytime goal, and Elias Lindholm, anytime goal. But don't be confused. There is another Lindholm. He plays for Vegas. So don't worry about it. Elias Lindholm from the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, I got 2 today, Beastie, both in college basketball, both in the SEC, one at 1 o'clock, and that is Kentucky at home against Alabama, number 25 Alabama, Kentucky, number 4. We're looking at 8 in some spots, 9 in some others, but I just think Kentucky is going to be too tough here at home. We've seen Kentucky recently here been playing some pretty good ball, 21-5 overall. Alabama's just 9-17, haven't done that well on the road. I'm actually calling Kentucky now to win the national title. There's a team I've been looking at. They're just a team at this point I'm focusing on. So Kentucky for me, minus the 9 at home. And then I'm going to roll with the other powerhouse in the SEC, and that is Auburn on the road against Florida. Looking at +6, 5.5 in some spots here. Florida has been struggling here recently, 12-14 against the spread, but Auburn has been just tough, 18-7-1 against the spread, 24-2 overall. I just think under 6 points here is a pretty good bet, so I will take the number 2 team in the country. Traveling to Florida, I just think they're better. Normally, I don't like to go against the home team, But in this case here, I think Auburn is good enough to overcome that. But Beastie, that is going to do it
Yes.
here for our Saturday show. So anything here you want to say before we get out of here? We'll be back tomorrow to break down a little bit of whatever's going on here on Sunday. We got some college basketball. We got the Daytona 500. We got some of the Olympic stuff going on. But we will be back here tomorrow. Obviously, the main All-Star game for the NBA is Sunday, so you can bet on that as well. Got some thoughts about that already. I think there's a couple edges we can look at. But definitely we'll be back here tomorrow. But anything you want to say here before we sign off?
I got everything off my chest. I feel happy, content, and fulfilled. It's okay to rest. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Say, hey, screw you. I'm going to rest and relax today. No problem.
It sounds like a plan there, buddy. So for Beastie, for our boy Easy Behind the Glass, I am Scott. That is going to do it for today's Woodward Bet Show. We appreciate you. Hit that like button on your way out, and we will catch you tomorrow. Thanks.